Hi friends, hello, happy Saturday. All right, so I know some of you are getting super antsy with the videos and wanting to start and meal planning and using the containers. And so I will tell you, we have one more week to get through the rest of the videos, but I wanted to come in and share this with you in case you are ready to get started, ready to set up a meal plan, ready to start using the containers. And so I will be honest with you, this is really, I started it last week. This is really the first time I don't want to say that, not that I've meal planned, but that I've meal planned and prepped this way. And so I started with the containers almost 4 years ago. And I basically just kind of took my container count and filled in like, okay, this is what I could have for breakfast. And I filled in those containers and this is what I could have for lunch and like so on and so on. But I didn't really have like a good set system with the containers. I just kind of would like plan supper and then I'd plan breakfast and lunch and then fill in the rest of the snacks in between. But what I really love about Ultimate Portion Fix is that I'm learning that you shouldn't eat all your greens at lunchtime. You should spread them out throughout the day. You should try to have all your carbs done before 5 o'clock. Like little tips like that I've been pulling out have been making a difference with when to get the certain containers in. And another thing too is I kind of looked at the timed nutrition plan and tried to figure out when I should have the containers and at what time of the day is the best. But I will say this is going to take trial and error. So last week what I did is when I was on my way home from vacation, I was on the plane. I'm like, okay, these are my containers. And I just kind of spread the empty containers out throughout the day. And I went, here's breakfast. I should have these 3 containers at breakfast, these 4 containers at lunch, these 2 at snack, and so on. And then I just plugged in foods to fill in those gaps. And I felt like, okay, most of the time, because my husband works nights, most of the time I'm feeding just myself and my children, or I don't have a lot of time to make food. So I just felt like I needed to have something quick that I can make and maybe prep a whole bunch of it and have it all ready to go and save it for the week. So I just came up with like 1 or 2 meals that I made on Sunday and Monday, and I had food for the rest of the week. So when I was making my plan for this week, I'm like, you know what? I really liked that. And I've never ever done it that way before. And when we watch later this week, the meal planning and prepping videos with Autumn, that's kind of where I got that idea. Like she shared about how she had the same red containers for breakfast every single day. So she prepped it and then had it ready to go. And so I kind of took that philosophy and made it into my plan for last week. And then what I did this week was I mixed my containers around a little bit, but I'm having the same colors at breakfast, the same colors at lunch. And so that's something I want to suggest to you if you're just getting started with the containers, just getting started with meal planning in general. It might just be easier to say, I'm having a red, a green, a yellow, and a purple for breakfast every single morning. And that could be different, but that way like I need a protein, I need a veggie, I need a carb, and I need a fruit at breakfast. What can I make that those mesh together, right? So that's what I did last week, and that's what I did this week. So I kind of just want to walk you through how I got started and what I was thinking through as I was doing this. So what I did was I first off, I just took a notebook, just a plain sheet of paper, and I first wrote meal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all right? So I wrote 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I thought, okay, breakfast. So I wrote those down, and then I went to my greens, and I'm on plan A, so I need 4 greens. And so I said, okay, so what 4 meals do I want to have greens at? And I went breakfast, lunch, snack, dinner, okay? And so I laid out those 4 green containers. And then I did the same thing with purple, and I said, okay, breakfast and snack, I want to have my purples. Same thing with red, all right? So which meals do I want to have a red at? And I just went all that way through the containers. Then what I did, so I came up with this little like sample of my blank colored containers. Then I went through and I wrote on the on the flip side, I wrote meal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I had this open and I said, okay, so for breakfast, I need a red, a green, a yellow, a teaspoon, and a purple. All right. So what could I have for breakfast next week that would fit those containers? And I thought, okay, I love to have my Shakeology for breakfast. That's a red. So my Shakeology. What can I blend in with my Shakeology that fits those containers? And I always have my Power Greens, 2 scoops of Power Greens. That counts as a green. And then I'm going to throw in a banana. And then I decided this week I'm going to have oatmeal and a teaspoon of peanut butter in the oatmeal. So that's going to be my breakfast. And I'm going to do that every single morning. One, because that's easy. I don't have to think about it. And two, it's different than last week because last week I did toast, peanut butter toast. I still have my Shakeology, but I'm mixing up my flavor this week. So I'm doing it a little bit different. So I'm not getting bored. My body is getting used to different nutrients. But for me, I love to have my Shakeology as my constant in the morning, okay? So I know that that's going to be my breakfast every single morning. And then same thing, I just kept going through. I'm like, meal 2, I need a purple and a red. All right, well, I did not have any yogurt last week as my protein. So I'm going to switch that up and put yogurt in as my snack. And then I didn't have apples last week. I had strawberries and bananas. So I'm going to go and have apple for snack in the morning or mid-morning for that apple. Then I just kept going down through. And I will say, like last week, it was so awesome to have all my veggies, all my rice, all my meat cooked and cut and prepped. But by Thursday night, when I was having pork chops for the 4th night in a row, I did get a little tired of it. So what I'm going to do is this week, I'm going to do grilled chicken and grilled steak, and I'm going to mix it up. So like Monday at lunch, I'm going to have grilled chicken. Tuesday, I'm going to have grilled steak. But I'm going to prep it all tomorrow, grill it all up once tomorrow, cut it all up, portion it out, put it in my containers, have it set in the fridge so I can just grab it and go. So I'm going to do a little bit of mixing up, and because by Thursday night with my 4th night in a row of pork chops, I was a little sick of it, okay? So I am going to do a little mix up that way, and then at lunch, I'm going to do kind of the same thing with Brussels sprouts and broccoli. I'm going to cook both of those up, big pans together, but I'm going to do Brussels with my steak and broccoli with my chicken, all right? So I'm going to kind of mix those veggies up a little bit too. And then for my 4th meal, for my snack, I needed to get my and then I'm going to have potatoes at lunch. I decided that last week I had rice, so this week I'm going to do red potatoes. But same thing, tomorrow I'm going to cut them all up, I'm going to season them, I'm going to cook them all at once, portion them out, have them set to go with my chicken or my steak, and then have them with the veggies. So I can literally just pull my container from the fridge. And you guys, I'll be honest, I've never really prepped like this before, but it was so awesome last week. Like, it was so nice to just, I'm hungry, walk to the fridge, grab my container, eat it. You work full time, like take that hour or 2 on Sunday. I'm actually, when I get done with this video, I'm going to go get my groceries, have everything ready so that tomorrow I can prep. And so I made this plan yesterday, grocery store today, prep on Sunday, right? And then for meal 4, I need my cheese. So I'm actually going to do a string cheese, for a snack. Plus I watched myself last week and I found that with having my snack in the, like that mid-morning snack, my lunch got pushed back to a little bit later to like 1:30. And so my kid, like, and then usually I eat supper by 6. So I really wasn't super hungry. And so at 4 o'clock, like when I was trying to have my big snack of like a veggie and a healthy fat, I wasn't hungry like for supper. And I just felt like I was eating and I wasn't hungry. So I'm going to switch it up and have a smaller snack at that mid-afternoon or whatever. So string cheese is pretty basic, pretty not very it's filling, but like I'll still be hungry by 6 o'clock for supper. And then what I'm going to do for supper is I actually moved my veggie from my snack at my meal 4, my snack, into supper. So I need 2 veggies at supper, a red, and then my orange and a teaspoon. So what I'm going to do is I was actually going to do this for lunch, but then I switched it because I love taco salad. And dinner time, supper time is the one meal where I very easily could just eat when I'm making my kids. And so I'm going to prep a whole bunch of taco meat and I'm just going to have taco salads. But I'm going to mix it up and have lettuce and have peppers, and then like my dressing type of thing with my taco meat. So that is my plan for the week, all right? And so this does a couple different things. And then what I just did is, I know this is kind of recreating the wheel, but I just went through and like each week I'll just move these around. But I have my meal 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then what containers I needed. And next week I'll flip these around. I'll switch these around, and I'm kind of monitoring myself. And I'm really trying to eat every 2 to 3 hours. But to be honest, like a couple of these, like I might break up and have right after my workout because I get hungry right after my workout, but then I might combine these two. And that kind of comes from 2B Mindset too. I still kind of have that stuck in my head as well. So I'm just playing around with it a little bit to learn what my body best responds to. And so after we get a couple weeks into this, you're using your tracker, you're using your booklet, you're checking all these things, following the meal plan, eating all your containers, focusing on that, you might start to notice that too. And you might say like, I can't get in 5 meals a day, but I can take that blue container and have it with lunch and get by without that afternoon snack type of thing, okay? So again, that just comes from listening to your body, watching your body. And like I said, I noticed that I was eating too much. And so some meals I was like going a little bit longer in between. And then this is what I did on the other side of that, is I made my grocery list and I made my meal prep tasks. And this is awesome because I look at my grocery list and really all I need to get is my fruits and my veggies and my meat. That's it. And then whatever I need for my kids, for my husband, like that's a pretty short grocery list. And I look at that and I'm like, yep, it's going to cost me a little bit because I'm getting so much fruits and veggies, but I'm not buying all the extra crap that I maybe would have if I needed, fillers like chips and just different stuff like that. And so hopefully you start to notice that too, that even though, yes, you're buying meat and you're buying veggies, if you prep and plan this way, like I don't have any, my fridge was packed on Sunday. My fridge is empty now because I've eaten all that food that I had prepped, right? So hopefully you kind of notice you're reducing your waste, you're not wasting as much money, and honestly, like you buy exactly what you need and you use it, it's money well spent, right? And then I also have this category with the meal prep task. So I went through and I'm like, okay, I can portion out my yogurt. Super easy, which seems like, but when you're in crunch, when you're in between classes quick or whatever, you can easily grab that already pre-portioned yogurt and go for it. So I'm going to portion out my yogurt tomorrow and put that in my containers. Grilled chicken, grilled steak, I'm going to do that on Sunday. My Brussels sprouts and broccoli, I'm actually going to do that on Monday because I know I have time right before lunch to just cook those up really quick. I buy them pre-shredded, so it's very simple for me to do. I'm going to do that Monday. And then Sunday, tomorrow, I'm going to cut up my peppers for my taco salad. I'm going to do my peppers or my potatoes for my lunch carb. And then the taco meat, I'm going to do either tomorrow if I have time, or I can do it Monday as well too. So I listed out all the things that I could prep and then when exactly I was going to do them. So that way when I sit down to do my prepping tomorrow, I can just focus on what I need to do and get it done. Last week it took me an hour and then I didn't have to cook supper again the rest of the week. It was amazing. But now let's say you are feeding a spouse, you're feeding kids that maybe don't want to eat pork chops every single night for supper, right? Okay, so you look at this and you say, all right, I'm going to make pork chops Monday night, burgers Tuesday night, shrimp Wednesday night. Like you can still look that out and portion that out and make something different for them. You can make that for you as well too. It just takes a little extra planning on your part, right? And so, but you still can do the same process and you can still do the same veggies, the same fruit and things, still make your grocery list, still make your meal prep tasks, especially for your lunch. I remember when I was working full time and when my husband wasn't working nights, I would know what I had to make for supper, but I would plan and try to keep my lunches as simple and as easy as possible because I didn't have a lot of time, right? Okay. So I hope that helps. I hope that gives you a little bit of an example. If you are ready to meal plan and start following it, do it. Start using your tracker booklet. Get ahead on those videos. Start watching those a little bit more. Figuring out your calorie bracket, your container count, all those good things. So I hope that this helped. Questions, definitely drop them below, and I'll reach out and answer those for sure. So hopefully this helps you guys.